Hey guys, how are you? We are back for day 12 of the 30 days of transformations. If you don't know me, my name is Katie. I'm a holistic health and life coach, and my passion in life is helping you learn to love your body, helping you learn to love the skin you're in. So this 30 days is all about transformations I have gone through on my own body love journey, and sharing those and then talking about how you can do the same thing. So every day I share a transformation, and every day you get an action step to put into place to help you create your own transformation. So today, like I said, today's day 12, and our topic today is learning to love moving your body, like learning to love exercise, getting a really peaceful relationship with movement. And this is something that for most of my life I did not have. To be perfectly honest, when I was a kid and a teenager, I was always kind of active. I was always running around and riding my bike and going to the park and doing all that kind of normal stuff. But I hated organized sports, like with a passion, quit everything I was ever put in. And then in my teens, I would not join any team sport. I was like the least involved sports person in all of school. And then in my 20s, again, I just wouldn't do it. I joined a gym, can't even tell you how many times, hated it every time, quit every time. I had a really bad correlation with movement. I had a really bad relationship with movement. I hated it. I mean, in fact, in my 20s, I was in a relationship and my partner was really active. Very, very athletic on so many different sports teams, always out there doing stuff, and I wasn't. And it was kind of a point of contention between us because it was always like why don't you join me? Let's do this together. This could be a fun thing to do as a couple. And I just flat out refused. And the whole reason why I refused was that the big thing was soccer. That was the only one that I was maybe considering. And I never joined because I was so embarrassed of what I would look like out on the field running around. I was literally, I kid you not, terrified. Like, felt like butterflies, felt like my stomach was like doing jumping jacks and flipping around just at the thought of thinking that people might see me run, might see me jiggle, might see how slow I am, might see how unfit I am, might judge me. There was all these like million things came up in my mind when I even considered it, that it was just not even an option. It was just shot down, point blank, not going to happen. In my early 20s, I did discover yoga, which has been my saving grace without fail. That was really the first thing I ever did where I kind of fell in love with it. And that's really the first point I want to say is like, you have to find something that feels good for you. And this is whether you love your body, this is whether you hate your body, this is whether you're still in that transition period like most people. Find something that works for you. Just because somebody else is a runner or somebody else does strength training or somebody else is on, the basketball team or whatever, that doesn't mean that it's right for you. All right, you have to do what feels good in your body, what feels good to you. For me, many years growing up, that was horseback riding. It was just getting out and just moving, right? And then, like I said, in my early 20s, I discovered yoga and I absolutely fell in love with it. I've always had such an affinity for yoga. Right from day one, it felt right. And that has always been the way that I have loved moving my body ever since I discovered it. And now I'm in the process of finding new ways. Things like dancing. I love hiking. Things like swimming, now that I'm no longer afraid to be seen in a bathing suit. There's all these different things, but it really comes down to you learning what feels good for you. And the only way to do that is to really kind of experiment. And that's also going to change throughout your life, right? Just because you love something now doesn't mean in 5 years you still will. It's normal to have ebbs and flows and changes, but really you need to kind of listen and find what feels right. The next point I want to make when it comes to learning to love movement, I wrote it down so I don't mess it up. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. And what I'm talking about here is stop caring what other people think. This is going to happen as you learn to love your body. It is part of the process. It is part of the journey. in the Body Love Bootcamp, that is one of the biggest things we focus on is like, it's on you. It doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter what other people think. And when you're in this state of really hating yourself, when you're in this state of negativity, you can't help but wonder and just think that they're judging you, and it's like the worst thing in the world, and the million thoughts run through your head. But when you come to a place of peace within yourself, and when you come to a place of love within yourself, and really accept yourself for who you are, you kind of just stop giving a crap about what other people have to say. And that really can open up a whole world of possibilities when it comes to movement. All those things that, like me, all those things that you were terrified to do because people would see you or people would judge you, suddenly it doesn't matter what they're saying. It doesn't matter what they think. And then the biggest thing, I really do think this is the biggest thing, is learning to see exercise as fun. Okay, moving your body is not a punishment for eating too much food. Moving your body is not a reward for being good. Moving your body is a feel-good activity that is good for your physical health, it's good for your mental health, and it's good for your emotional health. I mean, really, if we can look at it as play and as just like a health-promoting thing, and also as a very normal thing, our bodies were made to move. Right? Our bodies were not made to be stagnant, sitting on a couch watching Netflix or playing video games or sitting in front of a computer all day. Our bodies were made to be walking and running and climbing hills and picking fruit from trees and cultivating, food. Really, if you go back to our ancestors, that's what our bodies are designed to do. Our bodies are designed to move. So really, it's about finding, like I said, finding that movement that feels really good for you. And as you learn to love your body, you come to this place of peace, knowing that, number one, your body's intuition is good, and you should listen, and you should respect it. And also that it doesn't matter what other people think, it's all about what you think, right? So really, would you like to have fun in your body? Is this something that you don't currently do, and maybe you would like to do? Maybe that's something that you want to explore. Maybe this is one of those things that you want to start maybe having another look at if you haven't done it in a while. Learning to love your body, number one, learning to love your body is possible. Let me tell you, it is possible. Learning to love moving your body is also possible. And it is a transition, okay? If you are currently in a space of really hating movement and you avoid it at all costs, you're not going to go from that to running a 5K. No. It really is about, like I said, finding what feels good in your body, what activity feels good, and then slowly building that and morphing it and allowing it to change. So your homework for today, to help you with this transformation, is really the whole thing with a lot of what we talk about. You don't learn by reading. You don't transform by listening to me speak. You have to do it. You have to physically do it, especially today when we're talking about movement. So your homework today is to pick one form of movement that you enjoy doing, or that you think you might enjoy doing, or that's you've kind of been on your mind for a while. This could be as simple as going for a walk or going for a hike, maybe a run, maybe going swimming, maybe doing some yoga, whatever it is. Pick one thing that you either like or you're curious about, and do it. Within the next 48 hours, do it. Right? We're not going to talk about doing it. We're not going to plan about doing it. We're not going to, we're just going to do it. Pick it and do it. And that's it. And that is how these transformations happen. Not by thinking about them and talking about them and planning for them, but by physically doing them. So that is your job for today. Get out there and move your body. That's it for me today, guys. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Start moving. See you soon.